When I was younger, I got in trouble with the law. So much trouble that I had to find a lawyer to help represent me going to court. My parents said, "We're not helping you. You got into trouble, you got to pay your lawyer fees. Like, you got to suffer the consequences." At that time, I didn't have a job. I was like, where am I going to get money from? Luckily, one of my dad's friends worked at the grocery store near my house, and he was able to get me a job in the grocery store. When I looked at my first paycheck, I couldn't believe how much how much I was making per hour. I was like, yo, this is robbery. I was like, this is not even minimum wage. They said to me, because you're under the age that you're allowed to work, we can pay you less. I was like, yo, this is a load of crap. Like, I couldn't believe it. Going on, I said to myself, you know what? I can't be working for pennies, going to school. Like, I will never make the type of money that I need to make to pay my lawyer. And something hit me like a ton of bricks, that time doesn't equal money. But when you really think of that equation, is time really equal to money? Like, for example, if you lose $50 today, you can go and either make that back, ask somebody for that money, or that money can be reprinted. But if you lost time because you had a project due and you're goofing off and it's due tomorrow, can you gain back that time? No. So that's why you can't say time is equal to money, because you're saying that the two of them are the same, but they're not the same. Time is finite. When I say finite, it means there's only a certain amount that you have. And when I mean a certain amount to your life. Like, our life expectancy is like 70, 80 years old. Some people are not even seeing 70 or 80 years old. They're only seeing about 40. But money, if you lose money or money is gone, money can be reprinted again. Countries do it all the time. They say, oh, we need more money, let's print more money, put it back into the system. So you can't say time is equal to money. Another thing that I discovered is you can make a lot of money in a short bit of time versus a little bit of money over a long period of time. So let me show you. Imagine you're working a job and they pay you $25,000 yearly. To make $1 million would take you 40 years. Would take you 40 years. That will give you $1 million. But what if in 1 year you made $1 million? See that right there? 1 million to make $1 million. So I'm gonna show you what grade 5 math showed me, how you can make $1 million in a short period of time. So this is the average everyday person. 40 years, 25, I know it's just for the 40 years, $25,000, okay? So I'm gonna go back to my whole DJing thing. So growing up, I don't know why, or one day I was just watching TV. In my room, it was a weekday evening, and I was watching the music channel, and I seen somebody on there. This guy, he was DJing, like he was taking 2 songs and just making it his own. And I was so fascinated. I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, that's so cool. Me already being a lover of music, this was like an added bonus to it, where it's like, you can do that with songs. Like, I never knew about cutting and scratching, remixing, blending. It was just a whole new thing for me. And I was just like, man, this is something that I really want to do. So you know what I did? With having to deal with court and all that stuff, I said to myself, I want to be a DJ. And that day that I said I want to be a DJ, this whole thing of making a lot of money in a short period of time versus a little bit of money over a long period of time just changed my whole perspective on just how you can make money. So I started off by getting equipment. I borrowed equipment. My cousin was a DJ. He gave me and his little brother some equipment to start DJing. My uncle owned a record shop for a little bit of time, and he gave me turntables I could use and a mixer. So I was like, great, I have some stuff to start with. I got some old speakers from around the house, strapped everything together, and boom, I had a DJ set. And I could call myself a DJ. I wasn't a good DJ, but I was able to at least have the equipment, buy a couple records, and play it. When I bought my first records, I bought like 3 records, and I played those things over and over and over again. It was kind of terrible, but that's where I started, right? So when I got a catalog of enough music, I started to make mixtapes. And I would sell it, let's just say, for $10. So $10 selling mixtapes. Mixtape is just a blend of music that I put together and said, here you go. So it's, yeah, that's pretty much what the mixtape was. So I said to myself, if I make mixtapes, how many of those do I need to sell in order to make $1 million? And the answer is, I need to sell 100,000. 100,000 gives me $1 million. 100,000. Mind you, I'm still in high school. I'm very green to DJing. 100,000 people don't even know who I am. Maybe 10 people knew that I was DJing. My classmates and my family. Those are the only people that knew me. So making this wasn't gonna happen right away. Over time, yes, maybe. Some DJs have crossed this a long time ago with CDs, mixtapes, whatever it may be, right? After realizing this, I was like, you know what else can I do to make some additional money? I said, hey, I can DJ at parties for people. And I can charge them $100. So you know what I'm doing? Grade 5 math, and I'm pretty sure you learned this. You can move zeros around. And it's legal. So if I take a zero from here, 100,000, and put it up here for my gigs, my parties, now I only need to do 10,000 parties to make $1 million. Do you see how easy that was?
I went from making mixtapes or adding the zero to mixtapes. Let's just say we're adding that zero. Adding the zero to mixtapes for parties. Now I only have to do 10,000 parties. There's only 365 days in a year. This will take me forever. Like, it's not doable in a year at $100. I'll just be burning out myself. So I just kept thinking to myself, what is the next thing that I could do to get to the next level of making that $1 million? I said, maybe I can do corporate gigs, like corporate gigs or weddings. And I can charge more money because I gotta bring equipment, I gotta do special things requested now. So I said, you know what, corporate events, let's write it up here. Corp. If I take away another zero and add a zero here, I can charge $1,000. And I only need to do 1,000. That will also give me, you said it, $1 million. So now if I went from mixtapes to parties to corporate, 1,000. Now I gotta do 1,000 for you. That's maybe like 2 to 3 gigs a day. But I said, you know what? What else could I do instead of doing 1, 2, 3 to make $1 million? How can I achieve that faster? And I said to myself, why not do my own events? I can make way more money that way. So I said, aha, events, my own events. So if we take away another zero here and add it here, probably can't see. So now I make $10,000 an event, and I only have to do how many? 100? Nah, you're joking right now, dog. That can't be real. I only have to do 100 events and make 10 grand each event to make $1 million. I said, yo, this is crazy. And then you know what I said to myself? I want to take it a step further. What else can I do to make $1 million much faster? And then it hit me. You ready for this one? Why not do concerts? And let's take away that zero and add another zero there. So you're telling me if I do concerts, I can make $100,000, and I only have to do how many? 10? Oh my goodness. You must be joking right now. Concerts. I literally just do 10 concerts for the year, and I make $1 million. I was like, yo, I learned this in grade 5, literally just moving zeros and putting it to the next position. And literally I said, why not just do 10 concerts a year and make $100,000? I make $1 million a year. That's how easy it is. But when you go to school and they teach you how to become a slave. I'm sorry to say it, they teach you how to be a slave. It's like, do what we say, when we say it, and this is how you do it. There's no creative thinking. There's no thinking outside the box, except for like art class. But they don't teach you these things. It's like, hey, you want to be a teacher, you're going to have to do this. You want to be a scientist, you're going to have to do this. You want to be an engineer or a mechanic, you got to do this. But they're not teaching you the real way of how you can, the different ways on how you can make money. It's like, I don't know what I was going to say. But that was, so to boil down to everything I'm trying to say, to make $1 million, to do corporate gigs, to do events, to make the mixtapes, you know what it all takes? The same effort. So anything that I focus on takes the same effort. So why not put majority of my effort into this, or a combination of all these things to make $1 million? We always think, hey, I gotta go to work for 40 years to make the $1 million. If you work for 40 years, do you think that $1 million is still gonna be worth what it is today? No. So why not do something to accelerate the speed to get to where you want to be? The great thing about this grade 5 math formula, it can apply to anybody's business. Literally just think of what can I do to move 1 zero of how many I gotta sell to how much I want to charge. And don't be afraid to charge what your worth is. If you can provide the value to somebody, they'll pay you the big bucks. So don't limit yourself to what you're used to making. Say to myself, it's only $100,000. I could do this. Set a floor for yourself, but don't put a ceiling on how much you're able to make. If you found this video helpful and you would like to learn more on how to apply this into your business, I have a questionnaire below that you can fill out to see if you qualify for me to help you learn how you can implement this into your business. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.